Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 154. I'm your host as always. I'm Dan. I'm joined by my co-host as always. It's Samson. Samson, where's your new Orion glasses? I don't see them on your face.
Yes, they're right here, Dan. They're right here. Just about as thick, too.
Yeah,
see all the holograms.
Absolutely. How you doing? We had a bit of a live stream earlier. You feeling all right? You feeling just burnt out?
Just a bit of one. I'm glad we didn't do the whole thing. I think Live Open Mic did. It was like 2 hours, 40 minutes, I think he was on.
And we did the live stream for the keynote and the developer one as well.
Yeah, wow. Exactly.
Wow, that's too much. We have a bit of a special show for all of you today. We're obviously going to go through the Meta Connect. To be honest, when I say go through, we're just going to cover the VR portion. There's some updates to the Ray-Bans where they had like a translate app, which was the biggest thing in there. Cool. It was really cool. They had some AI features as course, and then also they showed off their new Orion kind of hologram concept, which they had, which is going to go to developers. Nothing really has been announced that in terms of pricing, but it'll go to developers just to develop. It's not consumer ready for now. It is super cool to look. There's a really cool amount of tech in there. We're not really going to cover that today, though. We're going to keep it VR related and Quest related. If you are super interested in that, definitely just take a look at Quest or just go back to our live stream and have a look at that.
Indeed.
In there. Just a few housekeeping before we begin here. I just want to say thanks to everyone who did show up to the live stream, and those who can't make it, you can watch it on YouTube now. Also, thanks for hanging in there. I know I was watching it back earlier, actually, just to, I was like, if I'm going to watch a Connect stream back, then why not just watch my own? There is a bit of choppiness that occurs. That the audio throughout the whole thing was absolutely fine. There was no problem there. But sometimes the stream would just chop. And yeah, sometimes when you do this just once a year, a live stream, it's hard to distinguish what the issue was, because it didn't happen like that last year. But maybe it's
I might have hosted it last year. I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe it was computer related, maybe it's internet related. I'm not too sure. But thanks for hanging in there, even though it wasn't the smoothest of streams. You definitely hear us absolutely fine. Other housekeeping to note, the Discord, our original Discord, is now on read only mode. So those of you who are in there, you can obviously reference what's in there. But the new Discord that we've announced like 2-3 weeks ago now, make sure you're in that one so you can post in there. The link is in the description below. Samson, I want to give a massive thanks to our patrons as well that help make this pod, and also help like put stuff like the live stream together and such.
Oh yeah.
Samson, do you want to note off the patrons that we have just to give them a shout out?
I'd love to. Thank you to Kimberly, Dave, Kai, Steve, Jenna, Joseph, John, Seth, D-Max, Alan, Ovidius, Richard, Jesse, Amelia, Jeffrey, Earth Witness, and Vincent.
Yeah, thank you so much for supporting the show. And if you want to support the show as well, Patreon links below. Even if you just throw us $1, that does definitely help. And maybe we can improve the stream next time. Who's to say? Samson, before we get into the Meta Connect and all of the news, there's so much. Like even though the VR portion of the Connect was only around like 10 minutes long, there's so much after that's now come out, and there's so much more news. I think because they had a 15-minute delay, it didn't start. If you didn't watch it live, it didn't start till 15 minutes after planned. When Zuckerberg came out, it was just the Quest quick, and because I think they were more focused on the other features, the Orion and the glasses and such. So
I thought we did a great job killing time, though.
Yeah, we killed the time, but there's lots to talk about. So before we get into that, Samson, you want to tell the folks about the next upcoming season of our Walkabout tournament?
I'd love to. Season 5 wrapped up last week. and Season 6 is beginning today. This season will seem a little lighter on our feet, and that's because with the addition of low gravity mode in 2 more courses, that's right, low gravity mode is now in Atlantis, Tethys Station, and Mars Garden. We now have 3 easy and 3 hard courses to play low gravity on. So in Season 6, we're going to get wild and wacky. Each week will include 1 low gravity course and 1 normal gravity course.
Wow.
Once again, we will be doing standard stroke scores as well as race times. So feel free to partake in one, the other, or both. Week 1, our courses are Mars Garden Easy, Low Gravity Mode, and Shangri-La Hard. And also this season, there'll be 1 winner of a $15 Quest Cash randomly given away to anybody who participates in at least 1 week of our tournament. It will be 5 weeks long. And this is, I found this out last time, Dan, unless you're a non-USD currency, because then I cannot give you Quest Cash, because then because of that, I will then send you a greater than or equal to $15 game from the Quest Store.
Amazing. And also, normally in the podcast episodes, we kind of go through the standings each episode. Most of October, like the majority of, let's just say the whole of October, I am traveling in Europe. So our shows that come out in October, we have a couple of shows planned. There'll be a couple of weeks that will be gaps in October, and obviously we'll put that in the Discord so you know exactly what weeks. But because they're like more pre-recorded and such, we probably won't be able to put the standings in. But you never know, we might be able to slot something in there. But if you want to keep up to date with the standings and such, definitely come into our Discord and go in. Walkabout stuff, I believe the channel is, and you can have a look at it in there. That's where Samson will post it. All right, Samson, there's a lot of stuff to cover. Should we get into it?
Yeah, news, here we come.
All right, so we're not going to kind of break down every single aspect of the Connect, as I mentioned, but let's go into. I put this script together here. This is what I think is the most exciting parts first, and the first part is that the MetaQuest 3, not the 3S, 3. Got a massive price cut. The 128 gigabyte one, which was $499, has now been discontinued. The 512 gigabyte takes its place, so therefore it's discounted by $150, and you now can get a 512 gigabyte Quest 3 for $499. Also, the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro also discontinue at the end of the year as well, if you were some reason in the market for one of those, which doesn't make any sense. Samson,
Quest Pro with the Quest 3 chipset?
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's technically not the Quest 3 chipset. It's like a weird kind of in between the Pro one is. But Samson, I think this was the biggest shock since the Quest 3S was completely leaked before. What do you think about this price range? Oh, this new price cut.
Yeah, it's great. It's great for VR. It's great for people who pick up a Quest, especially this fall, getting Batman and 512 gigabytes at $500. It's a pretty good deal for getting into VR, I gotta say. And if you don't have it, I'd just go with that $300 Quest 3S, because you're right. Earlier, you mentioned the $400 one being kind of like a middle ground where you may as well just save up a little bit more. I agree with you there.
Yeah, it now makes interesting pricing. We'll talk about the Quest 3S in a second, but now this is $499 for a 512 gigabytes, like the biggest storage you can get, and then has the lens, has the pancake lenses, which are much higher resolution, around 4K resolution, much more improved than the Quest 3S, and has all the bells and whistles and such, of course. At $499, unless you're on a strict budget and you need to go for the cheapest Quest 3S, to me it only makes sense just to maybe save up a little bit more. I know obviously $100 is no small feat between the 256 gigabyte Quest 3S and the Quest 3, and also that's like 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 or 7 games, depends on what kind of games you're into. So it's a lot of games that you could buy and such, but Yeah, I don't know. It's a unique use case. I'm not sure. I don't think it's as black and white as like, oh yeah, you need to just go get the Quest 3. I think it really depends on you. And I think if you really want to play VR often, I think maybe saving up a little bit more just to get the Quest 3S is a better price point now. But there's still, it's fantastic nonetheless. Obviously, a shame to the people who bought a Quest 3 last month at 512 gigabytes, because notably, like every
Yeah.
price cut always burns people. Like there's no better time to do it.
Do you think this 256 $400 headset sells well?
Don't know. I don't know.
I
I
feel like
think
it will sell the least out of all three options here, for
I
sure.
agree. Yeah, I agree. It will sell the least, I think. I mean, let's move on to that. The Quest 3S is obviously now officially official. I mean, in the Connect itself, they really ran straight through it because 15 minutes of time they were delayed, and also we knew everything. You know, it would have been a bigger pop if no one knew it was $299 or anything, but everything has been
299.
leaked. Yeah, everything's been leaked. So worst kept secret, 128 gigabytes comes at 299, 256 gigabytes comes at 399, and it is out October 15th. And you can pre-order. You can pre-order right now. Also,
Get on
Samson,
it.
we talked about like just pricing just then. They've also released a payment plan option in
I
the
like these price
US.
plans.
Yeah, so in the US, we've got some. I mean, Xbox does this with their consoles. It's kind of the same thing where with the payment plan in the US, it includes Quest Plus for the entirety of the payment plan, which is 2 years, and includes Warranty Plus, which is basically like accidental damage. There's no like what do you call it? What's the word for Quest Plus? What's it called? Like any money that you have to spend to pay for like any damage and such. I forget what it's called.
Like
Um,
the Yeah, I don't know.
Deductible. That's what I'm trying to find.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's no deductible in that as well, which is really good. But anyway, so for the plans, if you're in the US, it is $20 a month for a 128 gigabyte Quest 3S, $25 for a 256 Quest 3S, and $30 for a 512 Quest 3. So quite good. Only like $5 difference. And obviously, you can do the math. You can times that by 24 and kind of figure out exactly how much that costs and if it's worth it. There is 0% interest, but with the Quest Plus, with the warranty, I'm not sure if it just if it's exactly that cost. But you save money. You save money. You save money on a monthly basis, right? You can just pay it on a monthly basis rather than having to fork out that cash at the start. Pretty solid.
What's a year of Quest Plus?
Quest Plus is $60, I
Is it?
believe. Yeah, I think Quest Plus is $60. You might want to fact check that. Warranty Plus depends on your Quest itself. So the Quest 3 being $50 will be Warranty Plus for 2 years, which is actually really cheap.
So you're paying like $50 extra or so?
Yeah, I think once you do the math, it works out a little bit more expensive, but you obviously get it at just $20 a month rather than
Increments.
having
Yeah.
to follow it. Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people.
And you're
Like
right.
I said, Xbox does the same thing. What
About
was I
paying
right on?
$60.
Oh, $60, perfect. So a lot of like different options that you can do to try and afford a VR headset, which is great because I was thinking like if they were going to do a payment plans like this, they may keep the Quest 3S at like maybe a larger price point at maybe 349 or 400 or something. But no, not only did they get the magic price point that everyone was kind of looking for, they also released payment options. And maybe these kind of payment options will be available in different countries over the next few months. I'm not too sure.
Dan, you could kind of like what buy finance 8 of these, start your own VR arcade. There you have Quest Plus on all of them already. You don't need to buy any games.
I
I don't
guess
even
that
think
will
you need
work.
8 of them. You'd really only probably have room for 4 or 5, I imagine.
So you getting ideas is what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah, lots of ideas.
Let's talk about a bit of the differences between the Quest 3S and the Quest 3. So, there's a bunch of spec differences when it comes to the lenses and the resolution more than anything. Basically, the lenses are the same ones as the Quest 2. It seems like the resolution and everything is all the same as the Quest 2. Most of it is the same as Quest 3. So, in the most simple way, you change the lenses to the Quest 2 lenses, but you keep all the internals as the Quest 3, and then you have a Quest 3S. Okay, that's the most like simple way of looking into it. If we dive a little bit deeper, though, the Quest 3S does not have a depth projector, which is what the Quest 3 has right in the middle, but instead it has two flood LEDs, which is like a IR emitter, for illumination and more reliable hand interactions across environments and lighting conditions. So this is not really replacing the depth sensor per se, it's just to improve hand tracking, to make it better in low light and such like that. Unsure if that's going to be better than the Quest 3 because of this, or is it just going to be something as like the depth projector could probably do?
The way they phrased it was that it will be as good as when the Quest 3 came out a year ago, because Quest 3 has obviously improved since then.
Yeah.
So true. I guess that's where they're at. They're going to be at what we were experiencing about a year ago.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. The visor thickness is in between Quest 3 and Quest 2. So basically just the thickness of the actual headset itself. It's like in between. It's not as thick as the Quest 2. It is the same weight as the Quest 3, give or take a couple grams, which is impressive. Yeah, which is impressive. No headphone jack. I guess they save a bit of weight there. There is an action button which replaces the double tap gesture at the moment. So basically to change it to pass through or not. Unsure in the future whether or not they add like more control to this action button, like if it's going to be customizable. Right now, if there's no way to change it to pass through, then maybe they'll just keep it as default.
I feel like they should add that to the Quest 3s going forward.
Yeah, I think I was reading Upload VR's review of the Quest 3S that they just posted as well, and they were saying in there like the action button itself seems like something that will be added to all of the Quest headsets in the future. The Quest 4. It doesn't work with the official dock. Obviously, it's a bit thicker, and also it doesn't have the like 3 little pins at the bottom as well. So if you have, I don't know if you have a dock, but if there's going to be your secondary Quest 3 in the house, then it won't work with that dock. And finally, the prescription lenses will be the same as Quest 2. And it will include a glasses spacer in the box, just like the Quest 3 does, which is quite nice because a bunch of people who are interested in this will be the ones who are still on the Quest 2. And this comes at a great price point for them. And if they use prescription lenses, they could just use the same ones that they've used before, which is actually, in a way, a big win and a big positive of using the old lenses.
Right. That is true.
Yeah, so a bunch of differences in there. Okay, so before we kind of move on to all of the accessories, because there's like 4 new accessories that also got shown, which weren't shown in the Connect and just on the website itself. Samson, let's have a quick little discussion here about, we alluded to it a little bit earlier, but like maybe the users who would want the target audience for each specific spec difference. To me, I mean, for you, like you're thinking of getting the Quest 3S just to kind of test. I think we had Kimberly, Patreon of the show. She posted in the live stream chat that she was going to get a Quest 3 S. I think to have in a just in a different location. For work. That's it. Yeah, for work. So like just as a secondary Quest 3S. What do you think? Like maybe the target market of this is for the Quest 3S in the end?
Children. I think they're trying to take over Christmas again, and I think it very much could, with honestly all 3 price points. But as previously mentioned, I think the low Quest 3S and the normal Quest 3 will probably be the biggest sellers if I had to guess. But can you gift? Yeah, I guess you could. You just gift it, and then they are the ones who use the Quest Plus. I don't think you can just gift Quest Plus. But
No, you
think
just
about
give
it.
the headset. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, you could be giving somebody a Quest 3 with Quest Plus for Christmas for $30 a month. I
Yeah,
mean, you probably wouldn't finance a gift, I guess, but the point is still holds true. You
the
you
point still
you
holds
would
true.
finance a gift for a kid.
Yeah, the point still holds true. And then also, like, just to think about the price. That I don't know, like, if it's understated, but like the price of $299 is so freaking good. The Quest 2 came out in 2020, COVID times, but came out in 2020 at $299. And then I think a year after, or a year and a half after, it went up by $100 to $399
I
for
forgot about that.
128 gig. Yeah, it went up. It went up for $100 to $399 for 128 gigabytes. The fact that you can get a Quest 3S, which has all the internals of obviously the current model, minus the
4K.
lenses, is the big thing for that original Quest 2 price in this climate as well. In this economic climate, you got to realize, with everything going up, the PlayStation 5 and all that stuff is all gone up and such. I'm not sure if they're subsidizing it at all. Like from what I've kind of
Probably.
seen, I've heard of, like, they're not subsidizing these headsets anymore. They're now for profit and such, but
That's
unsure on the actual Quest 3S. Nothing's really come out for the 3S for now. But that's just super impressive. It's super impressive to get it at that, because the reason also being is that no other company can compete with that price.
Yeah,
Like no other company.
it's true. And just to talk more about that 500 price point for the 512 Quest 3,
Mm.
I think that with the addition of those Windows 11, the Windows thing, and the
Yeah.
clarity of the lenses, I think it could be pushed towards early adopters using that at not necessarily a whole work day, but certainly doing certain work things with a headset. Or for people who van life people who
Mm.
need screens but might not, really minimalists, people who want to not have monitors around or can't have monitors around. I think the Quest 3 becomes a great option for those situations.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. And I was going to pull up here. I think, I'm not sure if I got this right, but because I'm doing a bit of an exchange rate here, but I think the Pico 4 comes at around 450 to 500 USD. Um, Depending on the exchange rate. I've just exchanged that because for
Can
some
you
reason
buy
I
it
can't
here?
find the US. I can't find the US price, so I'm not sure
I don't think it's
about the
sold here.
Pico. Yeah, that's probably why. Like, there's nothing we can really compare at this price point, which is crazy. But yeah, I think also just as you kind of just mentioned there, with people just wanting like a secondary Quest as well, if they want like one for a spouse, or just have another one in the house for multiplayer and such like that. Having a multiplayer Quest for $299, you don't really care too much about having that lenses. Obviously, you're going to then have the Quest 3 for your the best quality that you can do standalone and such. That's another use case. So I'm really curious to see how much they're going to sell with the $299 option.
Yeah, I think it will take over Christmas.
Yeah.
I think people are going to buy this, want to play Batman. Hopefully, Batman is good
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have ourselves a Hitman situation. But from the people who've played the demos and all that, they don't seem to be too negative on it or too nervous about it. So I have
Yeah.
no reason to be. So I think Batman could be selling a lot of these quests, and yeah, it's just going to take over Christmas, man. It's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of kids
Batman's
getting Quest 3s, I think.
Batman. We'll talk about Batman in a moment, but Batman's actually, might as well say it now. Batman Arkham Shadow. We got a release date, October 22nd. It will be out. So Quest 3S will be out on the 15th. A week later, Batman Arkham Shadow. So you got a week once you get the Quest 3S to just play around with it and such. Download Beat Saber, as you probably will. Walkabout, mini golf, and then a week later, it starts. Batman Arkham Shadow will be released, and it will come free with all Quest 3 and Quest 3Ss, which have been purchased from now to, well, now meaning yesterday, September 25th, to April 30th, 2025. So that's quite a
Good chunk.
large window. Yeah, that is the same large window as the Asgard's Wrath. That was originally January, and they did push it to April. So they've kind of done the same thing there, which is huge. I mean, that was one of our predictions. I think Inferno put a prediction in for the last episode as well, and he said the same thing with the Batman coming with the quest. To get that and $2.99, incredible. Basically, our predictions came true. Our predictions came true. Okay, so let's go into the accessories. The accessories, most of the accessories are the same for the Quest 3S and the Quest 3. However, there are 4 brand new accessories that you can now buy for either headset in a way. So the first one is a new compact charging dock. Okay, and the new compact charging dock is essentially just a little dock for your Quest Touch Plus controllers. So you can put them in there, and then obviously they will charge. The Quest 3 or the 3S, however, there's no kind of slot for that. But what they've done, and there's a nice little video that they have on YouTube actually, which goes over this. But underneath it, there'll be 2 ports, 2 USB-C ports, one for your headset and one for the outlet itself. The outlet ones are quite a long port, which comes in the box as well. And then the Quest 3S one, or the Quest 3 one, the headset one rather, is a shorter cable. Once again, this cable also comes in the box itself. The only thing that doesn't come in the box is the actual power adapter. 18 watts is what comes with the actual Quest 3S, but they do recommend that you use a 45 watt one, especially if you're pairing that with the Quest as well, so it can charge all of those devices at once. This comes in at $60, and I'm not sure if that price seems quite expensive still, but this is definitely more appealing to me, for example, where the other one is the big one. I think that's $150 or $130 USD, something crazy. So, to have this Daisy Chain is quite nice. What do you think about it, Samson?
Well, I'm not too into, I don't need a dock. I don't find the need or want for it. Like, I don't care about putting it up on the shelf like that. I just kind of charge it wherever I got a cable around, I don't know. I get it. People want their shit to look good and all that. I'm a cables going intertwined, pretty disorganized type of situation. So yeah, it's not for me. However, well, nor is the carrying case really. I just carry it in a bag. I literally put I have a towel. I put it in the middle of the towel. I just wrap a towel around it, and then I put it in my bag. Like, come on, it's as easy as pie.
You don't mind having your $650 Quest 3 no warranty plus attached to it, but when it comes to all the accessories, bare minimum.
But Dan, I'm intrigued by the facial interfaces. The very silly one, the open face one. I'm intrigued by it. I've seen Bradley's very intrigued by it. And I still think it looks silly and ridiculous. I am curious to try it.
It does, but one thing before we get to that.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
No, that's okay. I just came to me there. I'm not sure I don't know if there's a solution to this because I don't have these charging docks itself, but the charging docks have the rechargeable batteries that you put into the controller, right? And then you'll obviously rest those in. Do they have an ability to charge them outside of the dock itself? I don't think they do.
Good question.
Because what if you are throwing this into a case and going for a travel or something, and you're like, oh shoot, yeah, I've got to bring my dock, or I just got to bring spare batteries and take off the rechargeable. Like with the Quest Pro controllers, you can't charge those. You can charge those without the dock because it comes with it comes with a cable. I don't know if yours came with it because you just brought the controllers alone.
It came with a cable that goes to their dock.
Right. So no. So in the actual Quest Pro box, it came with the dock, obviously, but then it also comes with a separate cable which just connects magnetically to the actual controllers itself. So it's more of like a travel charger where you don't have to bring your dock around. It comes with a cable where you got to look in your box again. It's got to be in there.
I don't recall this thing.
So how do you charge your Pro controllers, your Quest Pro controllers?
Well, Dan, as many of the listeners know, I don't use them anymore, so
I know you don't.
I'm unconcerned with their charge level. But normally, I have them on their dock, and then that connects to like their USB C, whatever you call the thing.
Oh,
that
I
plugs
see what I
into an
see. I
outlet.
see. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. They come with a little tiny mini dock, but that dock is a bit better than this Quest 3 one because that dock is really small and
Yeah, it's
and
tiny.
such. It's tiny. Where this one's like this dock is meant for like your bookshelf or your desk space or something like that to have it on itself. Yeah, I swear they came with a little cable, like a charging cable itself.
It says HMD USB-C short charging cable,
Yeah,
but I
Samsung, they
think
definitely
that's
did.
just.
They
I
definitely
think
did.
that's.
The
I
MetaQuest
think
Touch Pro controller charging cable is $40. It's like a magnetic one, which you don't need a dock for, and it's just like a single, so you can only charge one controller, for example.
at a time. I see.
There is
I've
like
just never
knockoffs on
needed it because I've
Amazon.
only ever used a dock. So
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense.
it's probably still in the box or somewhere. I don't know.
So, from what I know right now, unless someone in the YouTube comments or in the Discord, please correct me if I'm totally wrong, and because I don't have these accessories, but I don't think you can charge your controllers without the actual docks itself. So you'd have to take it out and remember some batteries if you were going on travels and such. Which is a key thing to know. I feel like that might be a bit of an either overlooked or at the price that they come with as well, like you'd expect something available, but maybe not, maybe not. But okay, moving on, we'll go to the we'll say the compact carrying case real quick because I know you're interested in the other one. The compact carrying case for MetaQuest 3 and S. This is smaller than the standard carrying case. It basically allows for the whole headset and everything, but just not, you can't have like a hard strap. So no elite strap or anything like that. It can only work with like a soft strap in there. So therefore it's much smaller. It looks like it's almost half the size, if not more. The Quest 3 box is really small. So that doesn't surprise me at all. Originally, when we saw this on the actual live stream itself, I was like, okay, never mind. I'm not really interested. But then I was like, hold on. I don't have a case itself. Like I got sent a case by a company once, but it's just too big. The cases are too massive, and I don't want to carry something with my like backpack or something on the side or whatnot. This case though, because what I do is if I hardly travel with my Quest, but if I do need to travel, I have to throw it into my suitcase or something like that. I just put it back in its official box because the box is so small, and then I just I use a Zybra Elite strap, and I just chuck that into the actual case itself, right? Mm-hmm. So this actually might work perfect for me if I'm going to still do the same thing instead of having to pack it up in its box every single time. Is that I could just take off the head strap, chuck it in my case, and then put it into there. And plus, if you are going to wear this on a plane, then you might actually, this is the only time that you might actually want to use the soft strap because it's going to be a bit more comfortable to rest your head against the plane seat using it rather than an actual hard strap itself. So in the end of the day, it actually might be a better case for traveling.
Yeah, I have no idea where my soft strap is.
You're not in the box?
No, I don't know.
I always just leave it. I just always leave it in the official box.
Maybe.
And if I was to get this compact carrying case, I'd just leave it in the compact carrying case. So I'll have a soft case. I'm not one to. This is still. I think the Quest 3 is still. It's not one for me to wear in public, like in on a plane or anything yet. Like personally, for me, but maybe for the Quest 4 or something like that. Maybe it's a bit more sleeker and such than maybe. But right now, probably not. But we'll see. I'm actually interested in this. I might pick this one up.
And you know what I'm realizing here, though?
Yeah.
So we're going to get into this MetaQuest 3S breathable facial interface, which is similar to silicone facial interface for Quest 3, but mostly light fabric with only silicone on the front part, which comes in contact with your face. And some light bleed can occur. It's kind of like the Apple Vision Pro one, I think. It's only for the Quest 3S.
Correct.
And this makes me believe that this means that they're going to be targeting and pushing supernatural and working out in that Quest 3 that's also cheap. So kids and working out is now, I'm adding that to it, because why else would you make a breathable facial interface just for that one?
It's true. It does. If you see, once again, there's a video on their YouTube that they just posted now that the Kinect's done, which kind of goes through it, and it's like it said it's made for more fitness, more than anything. And obviously, there's something that I've always mentioned on the pod where the only thing I miss about that Quest Pro is that open design, because I did feel like I could be in VR for much longer because there was so much more airflow to my eyes and such, and it was just felt more comfortable in the long run. So this Meta Quest 3S breathable facial interface is only for the Quest 3S. It comes at $40. It looks, first of all, I thought it was the same as the silicone one that you have, Samsung, but yeah, it has light fabric. It does have a silicone front that goes on your face, but light fabric around the sides. And you can actually, if you see the renders, you can actually see the lenses through that light fabric. Like, it looks really thin, and it looks like you could even rip it off potentially, like if you were taking it off often. The only problem with this one, I would say, is that since it does have light bleed, you might not want that all the time. You might only want that for fitness, and then it's kind of annoying to have to take that off because it's not magnetically detachable. You have to like clip it off each time.
They're pretty easy to put in and out.
They do. Sometimes I do feel like I'm going to rip it apart, but yeah, that's true. But then, Samson, this goes to the next stage, though. We've got the Meta Quest 3 open facial interface. So we have the 3S breathable facial interface, which is only for the 3S. And then we have the open facial interface, which is only for the 3. This is the one that was rumored or leaked. This Quest 3 version is basically the Quest 3 version of the breathable facial interface that we just talked about, but this time it doesn't have any fabric whatsoever. It's pretty much open. It's a very interesting design. I'm so curious about this one. And you can also remove the facial pad too, so you can remove it and you can wash it. I think it said it's machine washable as well. The facial pad is fabric. It looks like the same fabric as the stock Quest 3 one, so not silicone, which is interesting. And then you can also purchase replacement facial pads as well. There's no price on that. The when you click on that on the website, it's a dead link at the moment. But that also comes at $40. Interesting choices here, Samsung. As you mentioned, the Quest 3S breathable one, it seems like it's really pushing fitness because it's silicone at the front, and we know how silicone is better for sweat and such. This time it's fabric. This is something that I've already said that I'm like really interested in. I definitely will pick this one up when I come back from my travels. But what are your thoughts about this one then?
Yeah, I still think it looks rather silly. I pre-ordered it. I do think this might help people who get motion sickness. So I'm curious to try it with a friend or two that I know doesn't like VR or feel comfortable in it. It's coming estimated on the 15th of October. Dan.
Oh, nice, fantastic. Yeah, I think I'll order it. I'll probably order it on the 15th of October, so it arrives when I come back. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts, and I'm curious to try it itself. I actually like the idea of this one, even though it kind of looks silly with the big holes. I'm into this more than having just the light fabric
for Walkabout, things like that.
For Walkabout, mixed reality apps, maybe for Batman, you might not want to play that. You might want to play it in full on immersed. However, I'm not going to lie. I do, when I was on the Quest Pro and even when I was using a Bobo S3 strap without a facial cover, you do get lost in the immersion eventually. Like, with it, I think you do end up starting to ignore the only problem, it being maybe with the outside light could potentially affect the lenses a little bit, so it might not be as dark as it could be. But you do kind of lose yourself to it, and maybe that's why the breathable facial interface has that bit of fabric on the side, so to just block any light to protrude. Yeah, perfect. All right, so they're the new accessories. I think for me, I'm probably not going to get the dock thinking about it now. I'm like, I really don't need to just buy something just to have my controller sit there. But the carrying case, I've definitely been in the market for that for a while. But the open facial interface, I think, is the one that I'm going to buy first. And maybe the carrying case I'll just buy next time I'm going on a travel and I know I want my Quest, I'll probably just buy it for that ahead of time rather than just buy it now.
Makes sense.
And then you'll be getting the open one, right?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a whirl.
Fantastic.
I'm open to it.
You are open to it. All right, that's everything to do with the hardware itself. If you're buying the Quest 3S, please let us know in the YouTube comments or in the Discord. We're really intrigued to see why you're going for it, and if it's something that you've been waiting because you've had the Quest 2 for a while. And it's actually perfect timing with Batman. It's very exciting times for people getting to buy a new headset and such. Samson, we have a bunch of other news updates, a few game updates, a few app updates. So let's get straight into them. First one, these all kind of been announced as of today as well as of this Connect. So Moss Book 1 and 2 has been confirmed to get a major update soon. The Polyarch, I believe, the developers behind it, they say that a free update will be launched October 15th, day and date with the Quest 3S. Book 1 will be 150% higher resolution than what it currently looks at, and also
time to replay it.
Time to replay it, and also adds a no combat mode in there if people just want to see the puzzles rather than bother fighting. They haven't stated any resolution changes for Book 2, but they do say it's coming, so it might be just a bit of a smaller update there. I did play Moss Book 1 on the PSVR 2, and it did look mighty nice, especially the shadows itself. So
that's one I don't have on PlayStation, but
you don't need to. No, you'll get this high resolution.
Apparently now I don't. Yeah, now I don't need it.
Next game, Metro Awakening. Release date got shown off the day before the Connect. That's Sony's State of Play, where they had a few VR games. They also had a few non-VR games, obviously, and some other stuff as well. The only one that kind of crossed over with Quest was Metro Awakening. This is out on November 7th, and it will come in at $40. And Samson, I'm not sure about you, but obviously the graphics look fantastic. But obviously that's on PlayStation VR too. This game, in terms of the trailer, looks really good. Like the gameplay footage looks really good. Are you? I know you're not into survival and such, but this is more maybe a first-person shooter in a way. Would you be interested in this one?
I'm definitely interested in trying it. From what I've seen, I'm very interested in getting in this world. I don't really know much about anything about Metro, but I like some gunplay here and there, and I haven't heard. I don't think it's like a horror game. It's no.
It's not a horror game. No. There'll be a wee bit of horror and such. Yeah, because you're on a dark world and such, but it ain't Resident Evil or anything like that.
It is one I think I lean towards getting it on the PlayStation, but it's possible it's coming to Steam too, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's coming on everything, pretty much. And yeah, it's not typically a horror game, but it does build tension, shall we say?
Yeah, there we go. That was the word I was looking for.
There might be a few jump scares and such, but it really isn't made for that. It's a first person shooter at the end of the day. I've never played a Metro game, but this game just looks very good. It just looks very, very good.
Right?
Yeah. And now that, we'll get into it in a moment, but now that Behemoth is now delayed, this is now the only big game that's out in November, I believe, because I think Alien is December as well. So.
I do like them being spaced out a bit.
Yeah.
Dan, before we get into more of the news, I just want to mention that since I know this is coming out on Friday, there's 3 days left in the Meta Connect store sale. There's a lot of pretty good deals there, if you ask.
Yeah. Did you pick anything up?
Well, I think I picked up Demio Battles, which is in the Demio Ultimate Bundle for $7.
Did you not have that, or was that on Steam that you had it?
I have it on Steam, but right. I'm interested in playing that in mixed reality. So now I might play some of that, and I am really considering Galaxy Kart at $13.99.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I gotta start moving more, and so I picked up Les Mills XR Dance. I'm gonna give that a whirl.
XR Dance, nice.
I'm gonna try dancing.
You tried dancing. Nice. I've heard nothing but good things about Galaxy Kart, to be honest.
I have it on PlayStation, but it's not
Yeah,
crossplay yet. But it will be eventually.
yeah, it will be eventually. I've heard nothing but good things. I mean, you've spoken about it before, and
It's
you
fun.
you, you praised it, and you said it's really really fun to play. So, yeah, I'm intrigued. I don't have a sale on mine yet, or maybe I have to log in first. But it's definitely
They're
still
funny
full
about
price.
being needing logged in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair
You have
enough.
to go to the sale. You have to go to the sale. I think.
Sale
Like
page
I
to
see.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like I see Demio Battles there, and it's not on sale. It's because you have to go to like it in the bundle.
weird,
So,
weird. But okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm really intrigued in Galaxy Kart for sure. Very, very good. Also, just not on our news sense, you already said that obviously Walkabout announced its update where Atlantis and Tethys Station's going to have low gravity mode. Tethys Stations obviously makes sense, but Atlantis having low gravity mode makes perfect sense in that water. And
yeah,
feel like that's the only way you should play that course moving forward. I haven't played it yet,
100%.
but
Because you're playing in water,
did you play it in water? Exactly. Have you played it yet? Have you played Atlantis in low gravity yet or not?
not in low gravity. No, no,
No, you need to definitely check that out. It's their fourth birthday. With happy birthday to
it's
Walkabout.
crazy.
That's amazing. I can't believe it's been 4 years. It feels like it's been like 8 years of how like polished and how far that game has come. And then
Yeah,
the Pocket Edition, the iOS app,
better
which
is
we've been testing, that is out on October 11th. I've not got it
somewhere around
written
there.
down. I've not
I
got it written
forget.
down.
Yeah, it's the second week of October, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy. Dan, in their they posted a YouTube video or like a thank you or something for their fourth birthday, and in it, Dave noticed there was 20 plus people all in one map. Do you think they give us 20 player rooms for simultaneous
Oh,
play?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Also, I don't know if I want to be in a October 10th, by the way, October 10th for Pocket Edition. I don't know if I want to be in a room for simultaneous play for 20. Well, maybe simultaneous. Okay, fair enough for 20 people, but there's no chance. Um, I'm playing a standard stroke play game with 20
Oh yeah,
people
no,
in Walkabout. That'll take a full. That'll be like a normal full 18 in real life. That'll be a full 4
that'd be a
hours.
work day. That'd be a work
Yeah,
day.
full 4 hours. But yeah. Okay, so that is just the. Oh yeah, sorry, I just mentioned as well the Behemoth delay. Behemoth had just been delayed just a little bit. That was due to be out on November 14th. It's now been pushed till December 5th. They say it's due to needing some extra polish because they want to strive for VR Game of the Year.
Do you
Um,
think? Do you think all the games want to delay? Do you think Batman wants to delay? Everybody just needs that one
I don't
little
think
bit of
Batman's
extra time.
delaying. I think Batman's out. It's ready to
Oh, I
go.
don't. Yeah, there's no way it's delaying. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so there we go. We've got Behemoth. Well, let's just go through it really quickly here. You've got Batman, which will be out on October 22nd. Then 2 or 3 weeks later, without quick maths bouncing in my head, Metro Awakening will be out on November 7th. Then a month later, Behemoth will be out on December 5th. And then a couple weeks later, Alien Rogue Incursion will arrive on Quest 3 on December 19th. There are your like biggest titles this year. And I think that's a really good lineup for like your AAA titles that are coming
Oh
out.
yeah.
And then you have a bunch of indie stuff in between as well, which we'll go over as we, go through them over the next 3 months. Don't forget Maestro in October as well. Um, yeah, okay, perfect. Let's move on to the non-gaming news. 3 news stories on the list here. This was shown in the Connect. The Quest can, well, soon extend your display for Windows 11 devices like your laptop. This is looked identical to what the Apple Vision Pro would do with a Mac, where you look at the Mac and there'll be a button at the top that says connect. You press connect and then boom, you've got an extended display, or your display on your laptop turns off and you'll have a big display in front of you. It should work for all Windows 11 PCs soon. You don't need to download any other app. I'm sure they won't come out with one for Apple because this is what the partnership is for.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and also the Apple Vision Pro one, the way that one works is that as soon as you press connect, it creates like a Wi-Fi direct connection between the Mac and your headset. So even if you're on the plane or if you're in the car or have no Wi-Fi, basically, it will still work. Right now, Meta hasn't announced if that's going to do it. I'm assuming that they're going to try and aim for something like that, so make sure it's kind of seamless. But who's to say? We'll see. And this is also sometimes when these partnerships with Windows, they announce it on stage and it might not come out for another year. So
Yeah, like
we'll see.
where's our Black Quest 3?
Exactly. There was nothing about that today, right?
But this is what I think. I think Zuck has kind of learned his lesson. Notice that today the game they talked about was Batman. It's definitely coming out in like a month. Last year, what is the game they talked about? Asgard's Wrath. Before that, what was the game they talked about? Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Right. I guess so. That's so, yeah, you're right though. I completely forgot about that. Like, I wonder what's happening with that. Because right now, like, more and more people getting quests. Like, by the time that comes out, no one's going to get it. You know? Yeah,
Who knows?
They do that a lot of times. Anyway, two more things. This is for you TV and internet watchers, media watchers. I don't know what to say here. Amazon Prime has a brand new app that you can download for the Quest 3 as of today. It's different to the one that you can already download, which is like a immersed one. It's a new Prime app. It's basically like a 2D app that can run alongside other apps. But big things that it can do that the other one couldn't do. One, you can now download your TV shows or movies for offline viewing, which is big. The other one is now you can watch it in pass-through. And third thing is now you can watch it in full 1080p instead of the 720p. I think it was locked on in the other app and such.
Yeah. HD.
Three massive updates. And then also just in the Connect, they also said Dolby Atmos is now going to be supported in the whole Horizon OS. So this seems like be the first app that's going to take advantage of that. And you'll probably see, I don't know, maybe not a Netflix one because they always take ages for these things, but maybe you'll see other apps like Hulu and such, or Crave in Canada come over. Who's to say? No?
Hulu's owned by Disney. Disney's got the Apple thing.
Not Hulu, sorry. Is it HBO? Do you have... Yeah,
there's Max. There's Paramount Plus.
No one talks about Paramount Plus.
There's a few other... I got Paramount Plus, Dan, because they emailed me and offered me a year subscription for $30.
That's pretty good.
And
to be
for
fair.
for $2.75 a month, sure.
You can watch all the South Park you want because I feel like
I've been watching a good amount of Bar Rescue and Reno 911.
Fair enough. We in Canada we have Crave, which Crave is basically HBO Max. It's basically the exact same thing, same content in there and such. So that's always I find like HBO Max is always like the best streaming out of the lot. Maybe Apple TV is pretty good too though.
They did drop the HBO. It's now just Max. So you know exactly what's in that because it's just called Max. Obvious.
Fair enough. I do find that's one of the best ones personally, but that might come next. I'm not too sure, but that's a good one in there. And then finally, YouTube co-watching will now be available. So right now with the YouTube app, you can only watch it on your own. And you can still only do that. But however, if you go into Horizon Home and watch YouTube, you can now watch it with a bunch of other people. So if you want to watch this podcast with everyone else in Horizon, go for it. Good
update.
Yeah, it's a good update. So Samson, they're all our news stories, including all of our announcements. That's a lot of stuff that we just covered in there. I don't know if I'd say any highlights, but we've kind of spoken about them already, to be honest. We've spoken about them already. Were you disappointed with anything that was shown in the Connect? Were you like, I wish they showed this or anything like that?
No real disappointments. I thought it was pretty good. And I watched a bit of the developer one after we stopped our live. And Dan, they're opening the pass-through API. That's pretty big news.
It's massive news for developers, yeah. It'd be very interesting to see what they can do with that. Very interesting. Also, I just wanted to say as well, I said this on the live stream, but those of you who are super anticipating the Batman Arkham Shadow, Batman Arkham Videos, which is a YouTube channel on I guess YouTube channel on YouTube, redundant statement there, but they post a lot of stuff about the game, and they have 3 developer interviews in there. The first 2 are really good just to learn more about the game, but these first 2 were shown before they showed gameplay for the first time at Gamescom. The third one, however, shows additional gameplay to what you've seen. So if you've not seen that before, definitely go check that out. It's like 20 minutes long. It's really worth the watch. It's really good. And if you weren't hyped already, it will definitely put you in that hyped mode for sure.
I'm hyped.
For sure. Perfect.
I'm there.
All right, Samson, that will do for our big part 1. In part 2, we'll have a mini part 2 where we can just go over the VR games showcase, Indies and Friends, that also got shown off on the same day. It's been a busy day. So we'll see you in part 2.
Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
All right, welcome back to part 2, where we're going to be going over the VR gaming showcase, the Indie edition. So it's called XR, Indie, and Friends. There's a bunch of games that got announced in this one, and some updates. If you obviously want to see more of a detailed breakdown, definitely go check it out. It's not too long. It's on YouTube, and you can see all the individual trailers. However, what we'll do is we'll go through them really quickly and go through some of our own highlights. I think we have 3 highlights each. So, Samson, do you want to go through the apps that got announced?
Yeah. We've also left out a few of the PC VR ones, tried to focus on the Quest ones. First up was Hyperskate, which is a futuristic skating. You think like a board, kind of like Back to the Future.
Hoverboard kind of thing. Yeah. Exactly. There wasn't much on this. It was like 20 seconds, but
yeah, it was very short. Just a preview. Dig VR, which is, I think, construction vehicles and digging up the ground. That got multiplayer, which sounds kind of cool.
It's like a power wash simulator-esque, but for digging.
Yeah. Exactly. Then Badminton Time, which looks pretty cute, to be honest, and I'm very interested depending on price. It's a multiplayer badminton game, but looked like there were power-ups and such, so they're not going for the more realistic way, so to say. And it looks like there were mini games too as well. Then there was Airspace Defender, which I've played and is a hand-tracked airspace defender. You have a city in front of you and missiles are coming in from the sky, and you basically pinch with either hand, controls a turret on either end, and you try to defend the city. You Can't Scare Me. This is a multiplayer game, social multiplayer game, where one person is trying to scare their friends, and then you take turns being the frightening person.
Being the scary guy. Yeah,
exactly. Toy Trains got a mixed reality reveal. Looks pretty cool. It looks like Toy Trains, except now instead of the old place it used to be, now you're in your room. Honestly, kind of cool. Then there was a Living Room, which is a game where you add wildlife into your living room.
And animals as well. Like there's animals
to
take care of. I guess that is wildlife. And plants and such that you can take care of. It's a interesting comment. In the trailer, there's a couple bunnies that kiss, and then all of a sudden, a little bunny appears. So we know what that's. We know what that's implying.
I wonder what happened. Then there's By Grit Alone, which is sort of inspired by Dead Space sci-fi horror game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a shooter. This game. The trailer looks very scary, but at the same time, you don't really know too much that's happening in the trailer itself. It's quite dark. It's very dark, but it looks like a dark shooter. Yeah, I think something like a Dead Space-esque.
Walltown Wonders, which we've previously seen a preview of. It's by the Hubris devs. I'm forgetting their names, but essentially a city of tiny people pops out of your wall, and it brings a town of
Stories of
wonders.
life.
Yeah, exactly.
Cyborn is who you're looking for.
Yeah. There, yep. I'm very intrigued by Walltown, as we will go on to later. Grocket got its Cancer Blaster update, which I interviewed Robin, and we've discussed previously on this here show.
Yep.
The House of Da Vinci VR. I don't know what it is, but perhaps you'll be solving puzzles, and the trailer honestly didn't look that great.
No, it's a puzzle adventure game set in obviously Renaissance Italy. The trailer's just you opening a treasure chest, and
I feel like I feel like he struggled to get out. Like their interactions did not look great.
Yeah, it actually didn't look good at all, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be out later on in 2024.
All on Board, which is a board game simulator, similar to Tabletop Simulator, if you will. Multiplayer or single player, if you're into those types of board games as well. And then, Dan, not in the indie show, but I found a trailer for it elsewhere today by Square Enix, Triangle Strategy, which is apparently an already flat game. It's a tactics RPG game. And it looks kind of cool. Great art style. As we listeners know, a tactical RPG game, not necessarily my thing, but this art style looks pretty cool. And, I get into weird stuff sometimes. Who would have thought I'd be into a free divings game?
Yeah, I guess so. And I don't know if you've heard of the game Octopath Traveler. That's I've
heard good things.
Yeah, very, very popular. And once again, not my type of game, but very, very popular game. Exactly the same art style as Strategy, as what I think in there. I haven't played it myself, Octopath, but I've heard lots about it because obviously it's such a popular game. So yeah, maybe if you're liking that, maybe try Octopath. It might be quite cheap.
It has been on my Steam wish list forever.
Yeah, fair enough. And the Steam wish list, by the way, I don't even have a Steam Deck, but I still keep buying stuff because I just have it on my wish list. I was like, I know eventually I'm going to use these things, and anything that's under $10. Yeah, anything that's under $10, it's an instant buy.
You don't even think about it. Those add up. Yeah,
they add up. It's so silly. It's what did I buy the other day? I can't remember what I bought the other day. Was it Gears 5 or something like that, or whatever? But anyway, it was like $10 or $8 Canadian as well. I was like, I'm picking this
Monopoly
up. Of course
money.
I am. Exactly. It's not even real. All right, Sam. So let's
Dan,
go.
What are
What
are your three highlights from that list?
Let's start with one. Start with one of the last ones that you said. All on Board looks really good to me. It's like you said, it's a board game simulator or for tabletop games that you can invite people into, and they have a bunch of tabletop games in there. Now, a lot of them, is what I can see, is inspired by real games in there. They have got some licensed titles. They've got The Binding of Isaac, Four Souls, and Terraforming Mars in there. I haven't played either. Binding of Isaac is a video game as well. But yeah, it's you could play it on your own depending on the game. You've got cross-play matchmaking as well. And then you can also play the games that other friends might have. So I might have a specific game that you don't have, but it's like guest mode on Walkabout. And then also there's mixed reality available. There's video tutorials. I bought a board game recently. I actually got gifted one, and I still haven't played it yet because I can't figure out how to play it. No. I was thinking about buying Wingspan actually. There was not Wingspan. There was a dragon version of it. I forget what it's called, but it's same one. It might be called Dragonspan. It looked really cool because I went to this board game shop and they had it all laid out, and I was like, "It's pretty nice." No, it was. It's a game called Salt and Paper. I think it's called something like that. It's like a little card game that someone bought me when I was leaving to Toronto, and I took it to a bar the other day and sat down and realized I need to watch a YouTube tutorial and figure this out before I bring this to like a bar or something. It has video tutorials and in-game references to help players learn the game rules as well. And then each game is built for VR, which is really cool. And it's available for Steam and MetaQuest, and it will come out early next year. I'm really excited for this one. I feel like this is a good one to play with the Let's Talk Oculus community as well. I think this would be a really fun time for game nights. If it's good, I'd recommend definitely playing it. Maybe we can give away a few copies to people and get a game going with the community. But that's my first one. How about you?
I actually, getting on board games, I played Wingspan for the first time last weekend. That's why.
How was it?
It was okay. It was okay. It felt like a bird version of Catan or something like this. Like, I knew I wasn't going to win my first game, but learning how the points are accrued and all that, I'm ready for my second game.
Fair enough. Report back, because I'm interested in buying the dragon version.
Yeah. Well, my number one from this whole thing is Walltown Wonders, which I guess wasn't a new thing we learned, but I didn't limit myself to just new things, and I'm just very excited for Walltown Wonders. Looks like an incredible mixed reality game.
Yeah, that was the next one on my list too. Walltown Wonders seems so much fun. It seems like something to showcase to other people as well.
Yeah, just calm. Yeah,
yeah. The trailer looks really cool. I'm really excited to play this one. It comes out later this year, and we both like Hubris. I mean, you loved Hubris, and same developers. So yeah, I'm excited about that one too. What's the next one on your list?
I think I'll do Toy Trains. I've owned Toy Trains for quite some time, and this mixed reality reveal I think will get me to actually get into Toy Trains, because it's a game that I'm more interested in playing with things around me, and maybe now I feel more comfortable getting like a kid into a mixed reality game, and playing with trains is a pretty good idea of a game for a kid. And so mixed reality, perfect combo in my opinion.
Nice. Yeah. Were you into trains when you were a kid? Were you a big train guy?
Yeah. Trains, cars, everybody was named Bob.
Everyone. Fair enough. I was only into trains when I was like a really, 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 really small child. Thomas the Tank Engine, loved it. But then
yeah. George Carlin, rest in peace.
Yeah. Where am I? Oh, my last one. I think it's the same as you, Samson.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did there.
Badminton Time. Looks great. Looks fantastic. Looks like what's that game on Resolution Games? I think that we played mixed reality. It's like paddleball. It's not like a pickleball, but it's not
Racket Club.
Racket Club. Yeah, Racket Club. I haven't played Racket
gamified.
Club. Yeah, I haven't played Racket Club for a while, but I have a really fun time with that. So this looks like a really fun time. It has cool looking environments. Like you said, it has like special effects in terms of like there's just different game modes. It's not just playing badminton. There's also different game modes in there and such. So yeah, I don't know how good this whole game will play. I'm hoping it has like a mixed reality mode, to be honest, but that might defeat the point of all the different environments that it has. But it's up to 4 players. So I'm intrigued. To say the least. Same. That's it. Just the same. Nothing else to add to that.
Not really. I mean, it's badminton. It's gamified. People know I love playing games with a small little crew, and it just if they nail the feel of badminton, like Bocce Time has nailed bocce, and Walkabout's nailed mini golf, and really Miracle Pool kind of nailed pool. I think that Badminton Time could be excellent. I also think it could be complete garbage if they mix. And it don't. It's all in that feel.
Yeah, I think so. Too. Beauty. All right, Samson. That's everything. That's our pod right there.
Bam, boom.
before we wrap up, just to mention, we mentioned this last time actually, don't mention it last time. I mentioned it in a pre-recorded podcast that's going to come out next week. So I didn't mention it last time. Next week, we have a pre-recorded podcast. Since I'll be traveling, we've got a small, like, what we've been playing. I think I go into Mixologist, a specific game that I remembered. Samson obviously has so much to play, as Samson always does. And then also, we sit down with Nils to talk about Grab. I'm about to say Grab VR again, but it's not. It's called Grab. That just, we wouldn't say just released on the Quest Store officially, but like it's been a few weeks, but only recently. So we have a good chat with him just before he actually goes to the Meta Connect and travels from Germany. And then, like I said, in October, we will put out another podcast or two potentially. But like I said, I'm traveling, so it'll be a bit more sporadic. And at the end of the month, me and Samson will come back together to do more of a more live kind of podcast, more in line with the actual times, where we'll probably talk about Batman and such, because we all have played Batman from then. So until then, Samson, do you have any things to wrap up with? Do you have a fortune cookie message?
Not today.
Don't you worry, Samson. I've got one prepared just in case. I've got one prepared. So remember this: duct tape can fix anything. So don't worry about messing things up. I don't think that's true. If I drop my Quest out the window, duct tape ain't fixing that. But
it could.
Maybe it does. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for watching. Remember, join the Discord below if you love us and you've got to this stage of the pod. Come support us at patreon.com/letstalkoculus. I think that's what it is. Links are in the description below, and we will see you in VR sometime in Discord. So take care.